Alright, today I have a new part. As you can see, this is the gates. Part number C as in cat 034894, and it's called the coolant outlet, or hose connector. As I found out, they have a couple of different names. However, I almost forgot to show you that even though it's a Gates, it's made in China. Trying to see if this is going to focus on me or not. Let me see. There we go. Okay. So I'm just using my old camera. So I just want to make a quick video on this part. I can get this open, and this is what this part looks like. It is a very ugly looking plastic piece. As you can see, even though it's a Gates, again, it's made in China. However, it's not going to be an electronic part, so I believe we're going to be okay with this one. Now, remember the solenoids I changed? They go up here. And of course, after the car was hardly driven, and then it was driven for like half an hour. And guess what? Coolant started coming out of the top. I noticed it like a week before that the coolant was a little low, but there was no leak that you could see from the bottom. And of course, it was slowly leaking from there, but it wasn't big enough to see it. And then it got driven for about half an hour, and smoke started coming out of the hood. So I got called to get it checked, and I found that the seal here on the top was leaking, and it was making a slight puddle, but there was still about that much coolant in the reservoir, so it's not like it completely emptied out or overheated or anything. It was just the coolant falling on the exhaust that made that smoke. So I went ahead and refilled the coolant and drove it back home. Not a problem, didn't even get any smoke, but as I got home I did check this side here, and there was a puddle there, and you could see the air coming out of it and everything. And that's the reason for this new part. So those are the holes. So you get screw there, screw here, and screw there. So getting to this is how it mounts. And that's the seal that obviously goes bad over time, because the car, I think it's over 100,000 miles. I thought about changing this one when I had it apart, but you know, it seemed okay, so I didn't think anything of it. So it started leaking. So if you're doing these and you have everything apart, you might as well do this one. It'll just save you a headache over time, and you can just change the whole part and be good again. Now, the reason I order online is because, you know, I know it's not an electric part, and this should work fine. The temperature sensor goes on here, so that's that. And then the other, it's got this two hoses and this one on the lower side. Getting to this is not a big deal. You can just take I've taken the battery and those components and the intake off quite a few times. So if you take all that off, you'll have room to change this. Fairly easy to get to. Just takes time just removing the hoses and making sure you don't break any of this. And of course, the most important thing is when you take the solenoids off, if you take the hoses off, just be very careful, because you can break those little tabs. So that's the only thing, or in this case, maybe I can just unscrew it and pull it aside with the hose. I don't know. And we'll see how that goes. But This doesn't it doesn't look like it's broken or anything. It looks like that might be the original. That's the good thing about the old cars I've been working on, both the Volkswagen and the Mazda, or the Mazda 3s, that even though they're a little older, a lot of the parts are OEM, so I get to change those, and it hasn't been hacked or anything to pieces, so that's kind of nice. Just that I can get to choose which parts I put on that. Now the OEM parts that we bought before, they were pretty expensive, as you may remember. So that's why I decided to order these, because this is something that should work just fine. It is a Gates, again, you know, it's supposed to be a good or decent brand, but overall, looking at that part, I can't find anything that looks out of the ordinary. Everything looks okay, but you know, this is the part that does leak, which is the sad part about the new cars. Now you get all these plastic parts and cards, and this is what you get. You know, I'm sure with the aluminum piece it would probably do the same, but obviously we just prefer aluminum over plastic parts, just because they tend to last a little better over time than plastic. That's just a given, but it is what it is. That's what this car has, so I want to kind of show you what the part looks like. Nothing to it, I mean, it's all empty there. That's where the coolant from the head comes through over here, or goes in, and then this hose, so you get the temperature sensor going through here. That hose is going through here, so everything gets coolant in through this piece, or at least those three hoses. 1, 2, 3. And that's pretty much it for this one. So I'll try to get a whole time lapse on this one, just to cut down on the video, and then maybe I'll get back on the recording once I get to change it, so I can show you a little more of that, and just the whole process in general. I know some people don't like to watch the whole thing, and that's fine. Just remember, you can always fast forward or skip whatever you don't want, but kind of like to show the whole process, because sometimes you cut through a lot of stuff and you're looking for a certain, maybe how did that part get changed, or how did you get that little piece out, or whatever, and it's not on the videos. So that's why I like to do a little bit of longer videos, just to show you the whole process. That's pretty much it for this one, I think, and I do have another part, but I'll get to that later. I was trying to get this one on, but it's been raining, it's been cold, it's been windy, and so that's the reason I haven't done it, and I just got the part. So we'll be doing that. I hope this helped, and that's pretty much for this video.